Welcome to Top News, where we voice the other perspective on viewing the world. In this video, we will take a closer look into America's Federal Food Stamp Program, SNAP. Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP began as a temporary relief program during the Great Depression and became a permanent fixture in 1964 under President Lyndon Johnson. In its first year, the Food Stamp Program, as it was then known, had a budget of $75 million. As of fiscal 2017, the federal government spent about $70 billion on SNAP, Stebbins, 2018. The average SNAP recipient received about $126 a month, or about $4.20 a day, $1.40 per meal, in fiscal year 2017. The SNAP benefit formula targets benefits according to need. Very poor households receive larger benefits than households closer to the poverty line since they need more help affording an adequate diet. The benefit formula assumes that families will spend 30% of their net income for food. SNAP makes up the difference between that 30% contribution and the cost of the Thrifty Food Plan, TFP, a low-cost but nutritionally adequate diet plan established by the U.S. Agriculture Department, USDA, the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, 2018. From a national point of view, here is the ethnic scope of Americans that receive SNAP benefits. Caucasian equals 42%. African American equals 25.7%. Hispanic, any race equals 10.3%. Asian equals 2.1%. Native American equals 1.2%. Multiple races equals 0.7%. Race unknown equals 12.8%. Delaney and Skeller, The Huffington Post, 2017. Once all the states are united, the national poverty line is 15.1%, CIA World Factbook, 2018, and 12.4% of Americans rely on SNAP benefits monthly, Stebbins, 2018. With that said, in this week's report, we will take a closer look at those cities and states that have the highest levels of families and/or individuals receiving food assistance from the government. Which cities do you think have the highest beneficiaries of food stamps? Although receiving food stamps from the government is often regulated to those individuals dwelling in poverty, this top 25 list paints a different reality. Here is one hint: none of America's historically violent neighborhoods are on this list. Let us know what you think in the comments and please, do not forget to subscribe. Starting off our list at number 25 is Beckley, West Virginia. Households with SNAP benefits equals 19.8%, which is 7.4% higher than the national rate. Poverty rates here equals 15.9%, which is 0.8% higher than the national rate. At number 24 is Medford, Oregon. Medford households receive 20% SNAP benefits, which is 7.6% higher than the national rate. Poverty rates in Medford are 14.3%, which is 0.8% lower than the national rate. At number 23 is Goldsboro, North Carolina. Goldsboro households receive 20% SNAP benefits, which is 7.6% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Goldsboro is 22%, which is 6.9% higher than the national rate. At number 22 is Morristown, Tennessee. Morristown households receive 20.5% SNAP benefits, which is 8.1% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Morristown is 17.6%, which is 2.5% higher than the national rate. Number 21 is Decatur, Illinois. Decatur households receive 20.6% SNAP benefits, which is 8.2% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Decatur is 17.2%, which is 2.1% higher than the national rate. At number 20 is Vineland-Bridgeton, New Jersey. Vineland-Bridgeton households receive 20.8% SNAP benefits, which is 8.4% higher than the national rate. Poverty rates in Vineland-Bridgeton are 19.2%, which is 4.1% higher than the national rate. At number 19 is El Centro, California. El Centro households receive 20.9% SNAP benefits, which is 8.5% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in El Centro is 24.6%, which is 9.5% higher than the national rate. At number 18 is Florence, South Carolina. Florence households receive 21.2% SNAP benefits, which is 8.8% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Florence is 18.6%, which is 3.5% higher than the national rate. At number 17 is Flint, Michigan. Flint households receive 21.2% SNAP benefits, which is 8.8% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Flint is 20.2%, which is 5.1% higher than the national rate. At number 16 is Fresno, California. Fresno households receive 21.5% SNAP benefits, which is 9.1% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Fresno is 25.6%, which is 10.5% higher than the national rate. At number 15 is El Paso, Texas. El Paso households receive 21.6% SNAP benefits, which is 9.2% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in El Paso is 22.8%, which is 7.7% higher than the national rate. At number 14 is Eugene, Oregon. Eugene households receive 21.7% SNAP benefits, which is 9.3% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Eugene is 19%, which is 3.9% higher than the national rate. At number 13 is Yakima, Washington. Yakima households receive 21.8% SNAP benefits, which is 9.4% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Yakima is 18%, which is 2.9% higher than the national rate. At number 12 is Sumter, South Carolina. Sumter households receive 22.3% SNAP benefits, which is 9.9% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Sumter is 21.2%, which is 6.1% higher than the national rate. At number 11 is Las Cruces, New Mexico. Las Cruces households receive 22.5% SNAP benefits, which is 10.1% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Las Cruces is 27.1%, which is 12% higher than the national rate. At number 10 is Merced, California. Merced households receive 22.6% SNAP benefits, which is 10.2% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Merced is 20.3%, which is 5.2% higher than the national rate. At number 9 is Longview, Washington. Longview households receive 22.7% SNAP benefits, which is 10.3% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Longview is 16.8%, which is 1.7% lower than the national rate. At number 8 is Visalia, Porterville, California. Visalia, Porterville households receive 23% SNAP benefits, which is 10.6% higher than the national rate. Poverty rates in Visalia, Porterville are 25.2%, which is 10.1% higher than the national rate. At number 7 is Brownsville, Harlingen, Texas. Brownsville, Harlingen households receive 23.1% SNAP benefits, which is 10.7% higher than the national rate. Poverty rates in Brownsville, Harlingen are 29.3%, which is 14.2% higher than the national rate. At number 6 is Albany, Georgia. Albany households receive 23.9% SNAP benefits, which is 11.5% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Albany is 25%, which is 9.9% higher than the national rate. At number 5 is Hammond, Louisiana. Hammond households receive 24.4% SNAP benefits, which is 12% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Hammond is 20.4%, which is 5.3% higher than the national rate. At number 4 is Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Rocky Mountain households receive 24.5% SNAP benefits, which is 12.1% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Rocky Mount is 17.8%, which is 2.7% higher than the national rate. At number 3 is Grants Pass, Oregon. Grants Pass households receive 25.1% SNAP benefits, which is 12.7% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Grants Pass is 17.6%, which is 2.5% higher than the national rate. At number 2 is Laredo, Texas. Laredo households receive 27% SNAP benefits, which is 14.6% higher than the national rate. The poverty rate in Laredo is 33%, which is 17.9% higher than the national rate. Number 1 is McAllen-Edinburg Mission, Texas. McAllen-Edinburg Mission households receive 29.8% SNAP benefits, which is 17.4% higher than the national rate. Poverty rates in McAllen-Edinburg Mission are 31.4%, which is 16.3% lower than the national rate. Let us know in the comments which cities you thought were in the top 25 that did not make the list. Thank you for spending time with us, and please be sure to like and subscribe for all future releases. And lastly, thank you for watching Top News, where we voice the other perspective on viewing the world.